you will see when you're in My Apps in ClassLink, you go to the Wevideo icon and you click that icon. That will open up your Wevideo dashboard. You can see the projects you're currently working on, and you have options at the top of the screen, one for you to record and the other for you to simply edit pre-made video. Those circles on the left show you how much time you've used in your production and how much storage you've used on the server. You can also go and check your projects out individually and switch back and forth between projects, but for our purposes, we will simply begin a new recording. You click the recording button and then you choose between webcam, your screen, or your screen and webcam. And for our purposes, we would just use the webcam. So you choose webcam and you click next. It will open up a pop-up window. In that pop-up window, you will see your video. You can alter your positioning in the frame by turning the computer. And then before you start recording, just check to make sure it is recording from your internal devices, and then click record. You'll see a countdown and then it will go. I'm just going to simply count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can see the recording time to the bottom left. You hit stop to stop recording, and then you can watch that video and choose whether or not you want to save it or record again. I'm going to record again just so that we can see how that works. Again, it's going to count down. When you look, you want to look into the lens, not where I'm looking currently, down at the countdown. And I did my same count for 7 seconds and stopped, but this time I'm going to save the file, and I click save. It immediately saves that file. You'll see up in the upper left, that file is now being processed. That's the moving bar below the text, and you also see the date and time as a file name. I can move down to the timeline here below. For details about timeline, you can watch my other video on basic editing. If you want to zoom in or out on the timeline, you can just use this plus or minus bar at the bottom right. You can also grab the blue square that is what we call the playhead and move through the video. I'm just going to cut this off when my finger goes to 1. So after I've found my position, I see it's going to work. I simply click and hold and drag the back end of my video. I can do the same thing at the front. Click, hold, and drag the front of the video, thus shortening my video and taking out any extra material at the beginning or the end. And then I just click on it and I can drag it left or right in the timeline. I will move it all the way to the left so it starts at 0. You'll see that audio is for additional audio I'd add, not the audio in my recording. When I'm done, I go up and I just click the finish button. You give a title to your video. Once you've given that title, you hit set to the title. You'll see there's 2 options, SD or HD. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. It's simply a resolution. HD is going to look better. You want to export with video and audio, but you could simply make an audio recording, which you could then place as material underneath other video in an editing project. It's going to be easier in some cases to upload an SD video to Schoology just because of file size, but you may be fine doing an HD version, and you may want to try that first and test it. It only exports at 720p, which is a little smaller than most of the work we do at NASD TV, but a standard for YouTube. At the bottom, you'll see you can choose one of a variety of thumbnails, and you can choose where it's going to save. It will save in your Wevideo dashboard. You can also save it to your Google Drive. By clicking that, it automatically goes to your drive since you are logged in using your Google Drive. And then you have several other options. I would recommend considering turning on YouTube. If you do that, it's just a simple click. When you click on this button, it will open up a login. Log in with your school district account. When you do that, you then just give it its permissions, allow it to access those 2 different options. And then you can choose to make your video public or not. I'm going to recommend beginning with your videos not as public so that people can't access them, and then you can choose to make them public later, but you must make them unlisted, which I will describe in a later video. Finally, you just move your mouse down to the export button, click export, and it will export the file. It will notify you when that file is fully exported and available for download, or available on your Google Drive, or available on YouTube. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me, jdoyle@nasd.k12.pa.us. That concludes this basic recording tutorial.